But Paul,
yeah.
Paul Sewald is officially a member of the Cleveland Guardians. He signed yesterday on a 1-year deal worth $7 million with some incentives.
Well, there's an option for a second year.
Option for a second year. Give us the breakdown on Paul Sewald. Paul Sewald, excuse me. Is it Sewald or Sewald?
Sewald.
Oh,
This,
okay, Sewald.
his name sound like he had the first patent on a Ford motor car.
Could be.
Paul Sewald.
Yeah, yeah.
Give us the breakdown, and you mentioned something on the top of the show that I'm very interested in.
It better have nothing to do with Clase, but go ahead.
There's two things here. Number one, let's talk about Paul Sewald and the signing. First of all, my first reaction was, this is odd. They're not going to spend a ton of money the rest of this offseason. I'm a little surprised they spent it on a relief pitcher. So I thought that was odd. Now, I will say that at $7 million, this is excellent value to me. I like Paul Sewald a lot. He's a veteran pitcher. That's the one thing they really don't have in their bullpen. I know their bullpen was great.
Where is he at last year?
He was in Arizona last year.
Okay.
He first came up with, I can't remember who he first came up with, but then he spent most of his earlier career with Seattle and was very good there. He's a closer. Mm-hmm. And then in 2023, he got traded in the middle of the season to Arizona and played in the World Series against the Rangers. He got off to a great start last year. He's been a really good reliever. He got off to a great start last year. By the middle of the season, I think he had an ERA around 1.5. Now, he struggled the second half of last season. He dealt with a little bit of an injury. His mechanics were off. I'm sure the Guardians will fix that. But this guy, outside of the second half of last year, has been consistently a good pitcher. He's been a closer. I think my initial thought was, okay, if something happened with Clase, he got hurt or whatever, this way they could keep Gaddis and Cade Smith in their 7th, 8th inning roles, and you have your veteran here, let him close because he has experience closing games. Plus, he's pitching the World Series. He has a relationship with Stephen Vogt. He played in Seattle for a number of years, as I mentioned, and Stephen Vogt, before coming to the Guardians, was I believe the bullpen coach, I think,
Correct.
in Seattle. And so, obviously, he and Sewald has an excellent reputation within the game of being like one of these elite teammates. And so I think having a veteran in the Guardians bullpen is a good thing. Now, you might say, well, come on, they need to strengthen a weakness in the lineup. True, I agree. And the bullpen was already a strength. Mr. Operation Stockpile here should appreciate the fact that, even if you have a strength, make it stronger.
I love it.
So, on its own, even though I thought it was odd that that's where they spent money, I like this move. I think he'll be very good for them this year. Okay. It's never a guarantee, especially with a relief pitcher, but my guess is he'll be very good for them in the pen.
Anytime they go get a veteran pitcher, I mean,
yeah.
We seen Boyd, we seen
Cobb.
Yeah. All these guys come in last year and have these unbelievable seasons with the Guardians. I think when you see them get a veteran pitcher, it gives me good feelings that guy will turn into something that we will appreciate.
Man, listen, it sucks because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what if you keep Jimenez? What if you kept Naylor and you added a person like this? We'd be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Because I would be ecstatic because I still got my home run capabilities. I still got an elite fielder. And you can always hope and squint and be like, maybe Jimenez bats a little better this year.
Yeah. And he wasn't terrible here.
Oh, really?
And
he
so,
wasn't Austin Hedges or Miles Straw bad.
And if they did that, you could have sold us on. And we got Manzardo.
Yeah.
Manzardo's going to play a lot more this year. You like, man, listen, I like that. You could sell me on that. But if it's just a pitcher, I'm like, all right, well, now we got a great bullpen. We better get one. We better get 2 runs.
Okay. So now, let me spin this off to what I heard this morning.
Oh, shit.
Now, this is not no definitive thing here.
Somebody we love.
But you guys have heard me, and we've had him on as a guest. Mike Ferrin does a show on MLB Radio. Mm-hmm. It's really the only sports show that I listen to regularly because I love baseball's my passion, and it's the best show about baseball. It's on from I think 10 to 1, so I usually, as I'm driving in, I will listen. And Mike's on with a former Major League GM, Jim Duquette, who was the GM of the Mets many years ago. Mike, so in their second segment at 10:20, they talked about the Guardians signing Paul Sewald, and they both agreed that it was a good move. But then Mike said, he goes, I was thinking about this move a lot yesterday, and I think this could be, obviously, he's not saying he has inside information, but obviously he's a very smart baseball guy. He's well connected. Nothing's been told to him, but he says it's unusual for the Guardians to spend that kind of money on a relief pitcher, especially when it's already a strength. He was speculating that the reason they may have done this is because now they're going to trade one of their other relievers. Maybe he didn't say definitely Clase, maybe Clase, who knows? But one of their cheaper relievers to get a proven bat. So you guys have an unhappy look on your face. But if they trade one of their other relievers to get a bat, depending on the trade,
are you referring to Gaddis and Case?
I don't know.
Under no circumstances.
That's what I'm saying.
There's only 3 relievers that they could trade that they would get a legitimate starting hitter.
Yes,
and that's Clase, Gaddis. I don't even know about Gaddis. It's Clase and Smith, maybe Gaddis.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Now, you just said we need sticks.
No.
You've been saying
I'm not cool with that.
I have to see who the sticks.
What type of stick?
I would be okay. I know this is not going to be a popular opinion.
He set
but
this up.
I would be okay with trading Clase. Now you have to get a lot back, and as part of what you get back, you'd have to have a short thing hitter, big time hitter for a number of years. But I'm open to the conversation.
Give me a name.
Give me a comp.
Give me a name.
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, Class A is out of here.
Thank you,
yes,
Shohei.
we appreciate your services, Class A.
Thank you.
It was great.
Well, so here's your complimentary food basket.
Tell Roy Suzuki we said what's up.
So one of the teams that Mike specifically mentioned 2 teams that could match up. One, Arizona, who they already made a trade with this offseason. And the other one, the Cubs, who they've already made a trade with this offseason.
They always got 3 teams that they work with. So
and San Diego, mentioned, which is another team.
So who is the hitter?
So now the guys he mentioned on Arizona, he mentioned Alec Thomas and I can't think of the other guy. Now I'm not trading.
Alec Thomas is a respectable name, but I don't know if I.
Now I'm not trading Emmanuel Clase for either of those guys.
Yeah,
those guys to me can't be the best player in a Clase trade. Now, would I trade Hunter Gaddis for one of those guys? I would. Yes.
All right.
Now,
so let me
in
get this.
terms of the Cubs,
wait a minute.
The Cubs and Guardians are a very interesting trade partners. The Cubs desperately need a back end reliever. Okay. Desperately. They traded for Eli Morgan earlier. The Cubs don't have a short closer.
Okay. Come on.
They ain't got Cody Bellinger.
Alec Thomas is a young player.
Go
ahead.
You tried to slide that by me.
Yeah.
I had to put the Mikey McNuggets bad job out of you. You're supposed to have the stats on this. I had to pull this up on my little abacus over here.
Alec Thomas' offensive numbers were not good.
Alec Thomas, no, but Ian Happ.
Okay, so that's what I was getting to. That's the thing I was getting to. Now, he didn't mention Ian Happ specifically. Now, I think the problem with Ian Happ is that Ian Happ, I think, only has 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
So we are assuming.
But Ian Happ would be a perfect player for the Guardians.
All right, 243, 25 home
Ian
runs.
Happ, these are his numbers.
243.
What position he
plays? Go ahead, get your money off.
He's utility, right, Paul?
He's an outfielder.
Plays outfielder.
No, he's not
he had 25 home runs last year.
He was a Gold Glove left fielder. Now, he wouldn't play left. Now, he could play left. They could move Quan to center. That might make some sense.
Yes.
He had 25 dingers last year, 86 RBIs. He led the Cubs in both home runs and RBIs. He had 251 total bases with a slugging plus OPS.
What was his OPS?
782, which is very good.
That's good. That's good. It's not great.
For the Guardians to be very good.
What was his OPS the last couple of years? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Ian Happ over the last few seasons.
Yeah.
OPS in 2024, we just mentioned 782. 2023, 791. 2022, 781. He's never had an OPS lower than 757.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good player. He's not a superstar, but he's a Gold Glove fielder.
Gold Glove left.
And by
field.
the way, he was an infielder coming up through the minors.
That's why I said utility.
Yeah, he
in
was.
my head.
But he's become an excellent left fielder, and I think Stephen Kwan can play center. Listen, I don't know if that's going to match up because Happ, I think, only has 2 years left on his deal, and I don't know that the Guardians would make a trade. The Cubs have a ton of outfielders. They have 4 starting proven Major League outfielders, plus 3 of their 4 best prospects who are all ready to play in the majors. Ready. The Cubs just don't have room for them. Are outfielders.
I got an idea. Now, y'all, listen. This is. I need to do a segment that says G. Bush's baseball ideas.
I like it. Go ahead.
So here's what we're gonna do. What you think about moving Gavin Williams to the bullpen?
I don't like that
Why?
because I think he could be an excellent starting pitcher.
I haven't seen it.
No, we've seen good at times, but not excellent yet.
The only reason I say it is because I like his. I feel he has overpowering stuff.
Yeah.
For a bullpen rotation type thing, but I don't. I think after like the second or third time in the lineup as a starter, he be getting hit hard.
So who would your starting pitchers be if you put him in the bullpen? Just out of curiosity.
Lively's still there, right?
They are loaded in the bullpen. The Guardians have the deepest bullpen. Pedro Avila, who was solid as their last guy in the bullpen, they cut him yesterday to sign Sewald.
Wow.
That's how deep they are in the pen. Even kids that they brought up at the end of last year, Sobrowski, Walter, these guys are really good.
That's why
they are loaded in the
talented,
pen, and that's why Mike's idea of maybe they're going to trade one of their top bullpenners makes sense. But they've got to get the right hitter back. Let me make it last thing on this. Let me make it very clear. I'm not advocating to trade away Emmanuel Clase. I would listen. I'd be open to listening to a conversation.
You still got Lane, right?
They still got Lane, yeah.
Okay.
But Lane's, a platoon guy. And he's only got 1 year left on his contract. So,
and he's hurt.
No, I don't think he's
Lane
hurt.
Thomas?
Like Thomas?
I don't think he's
No,
hurt.
David Fry's hurt.
Yeah, Fry's hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
That's
they
Friday
need some
hurt.
power. I don't know that it would work. The Cubs do have a kid, Kevin Alcantara, who's been in the big leagues a little bit. They have another kid, Owen Cassie, who's a top prospect. They're both ready to play in the majors, and they both have big-time power. Now, they haven't done it in the majors. I don't know. But the Guardians need power, and the Cubs need a late-inning reliever.
Yeah.
It could
There's
work
the
out.
makings of
We'll
a
see.
potential framework of a deal.
And I'm not saying it would have to
Keep
be
an eye on
Clase. It could be Gaddis. It
Yeah.
could be
I'd rather
I don't know.
Gaddis.